The Pathless. It's finally out on Apple Arcade. We've all been eagerly waiting for it since Giant Squid announced the Apple Arcade version way back in March 2019. Today I present a performance review seeing how the game plays across a range of recent Apple devices. Pause the video now to see the game's requirements and supported devices. The Pathless represents a true console gaming experience on Apple Arcade, which we don't often see. This game has also launched on PS5, so it's kind of a next-gen title for us too. That said, as you'll come to see, the Apple Arcade version has made some sacrifices to graphics. Despite that, let's be happy knowing you're still getting the same experience, content-wise, that you'd find on any other platform. What we have here is an expansive open-world adventure that tells the story of an evil curse gripping the world. You play as a hunter who also has an eagle companion for solving puzzles and to help with traversal. Together, you will fight back the darkness, free corrupted spirits, and bring back the color to the land. While The Pathless is, yes, one of the most ambitious games on Apple Arcade, it's important to note it still retains the arcade tone that Apple are going for with Apple Arcade. There is no major focus on violence. The art direction is going for an almost anime or comic book look, and the gameplay revolves around a timing-based mechanic where you shoot markers to move at high speeds. I found getting used to the movement took a little while, but once you get the hang of it, it's, well, fantastic and super satisfying. Many of you often remark on how Apple Arcade games are missing gameplay, which I still disagree with, by the way, but The Pathless has the gameplay you're probably looking for. Explore locations, fight corrupted spirits, solve lots of puzzles, find secrets, and enjoy the fluid movement, and much more. The game doesn't hold your hand though. There is no minimap, no quest marker. You can, however, toggle on a mask to reveal secrets and distant landmarks. The Pathless main story campaign is roughly 7 to 10 hours too, but players can easily spend over 10 plus hours looking for all the secrets. Players will be happy with this if you're not a fan of some Apple Arcade games only lasting a few hours. The Pathless runs at 30 FPS on iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV. However, on Mac, 60 FPS is supported, if your Mac can handle it, that is. 60 FPS is most likely not supported on iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV to combat thermal throttling. However, we still noticed overheating on our iPhone 12 Pro and iPad Pro 4th Gen, which is concerning. This may have resulted in performance issues too. You see, we noticed occasional big frame rate drops. Mind you, it was most noticeable on iPhone and Apple TV. Sometimes the frame rate would go well below 25. This occurred the most during challenging scenarios, for example, when entering a boss scene. On Mac, I noticed the game defaults to Mac settings, so if you don't adjust your settings, you may have a laggy experience depending on your Mac hardware. Look, unfortunately, what I've found reviewing Apple Arcade games is that most high-end games that have come to this platform, like Beyond a Steel Sky, Samurai Jack, or Beyond Blue, have had performance issues on launch day. Then they receive several hotfixes soon after. I'm sure The Pathless will do the same. It's a shame a higher frame rate is not supported on some devices, as playing at 60 FPS is a real treat, especially because of all the fast movement in the game. Sacrifices have also been made to graphics on iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV, especially when you compare it to the PS5 version and Mac version, which supports improved lighting, shadows, texture, grass, effects, and support for higher resolution and frame rates. On Apple Arcade devices, excluding Mac, environment quality is quite low. On my 5K iMac, or on a PS5 for example, having environmental quality on or on Ultra would mean that foliage will move realistically when the hunter interacts with it. Some trees are missing textures too, so all you see are the leaves floating above ground by themselves. Furthermore, shadow quality is quite low. It's most noticeable for the characters, as they almost don't cast shadows. I can understand why Giant chose to lock the game's frame rate to 30 on some devices, but I don't know why the graphics had to be this downgraded. On Apple TV 4K, yes, it makes sense having a low render resolution and advanced graphics set to low, as the graphics chip is old on that machine now. But the latest iPhone and iPads have very similar performance to the Nintendo Switch. The iPad Pro is almost double the performance of the Switch 2. I would love to see downloadable texture packs in the future, so we can customize the graphics to our liking. The Mac version has custom graphics for environment, lighting, textures, post-processing, effects, and so forth. Many Intel Macs are less powerful than new iPhone and iPads too, so it makes sense that custom graphics should be on iOS. I might be a little harsh here and in no position to call all this out. I mean, the game still looks pretty good, but for me, I think the graphics don't have to be this downgraded on mobile so much. If there is one takeaway from this review, however, it's the gameplay. It's great, it's fantastic, it's just a fun game that you're going to enjoy. You can either wait for performance to be improved, or you can jump into it right now knowing you may experience some issues. That is all up to you. Are you going to play the Pathless on Apple Arcade? Or are you going to play it somewhere else like PC or PS5? Do you have a supported device for the Pathless? What do you think of the game? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Apple gaming related. Anyway, my name's Stewie and thanks for watching.